Hi, I am August Morris, and I am going on my way to interview my fellow students about a question I deem really important, which is, would you reside in Lubbock? Why or why not? The goal of this is to kind of get an idea of how people see Lubbock, how people view Lubbock, and so my first interview is going to be with Brianna Alcorta, who is currently a junior at Texas Tech. Hi. All right, you're Brianna, right?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Augie. Nice to meet you. This shouldn't take too long. It should be pretty quick, but I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions and then just answer. So the first question is, if you could live in Lubbock, why or why not would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Why not?
Just because there's like better opportunities in bigger cities like Dallas and like San Antonio.
So I was going to bring up just a couple facts real quick, and one is that the housing price in Lubbock is actually 17% cheaper than the national. However, the crime rate is, as of right now, it's 10.85%, so 2,831 out of 12,886. So that's crimes per people, probably specify.
Yeah.
Does that change anything, or no?
No.
No? All right. And this is kind of the last one, but another big part of Lubbock is the music aspect. I don't know if you've been to the Buddy Holly Center, but that's pretty popular over there, and there's a lot of live music that's played every night. And does that interest you at all, or does that affect you at all?
Not really. It doesn't really do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything that you find good about Lubbock, or that you like about Lubbock?
I mean, I love tech. I like school.
That's fair.
That's pretty much it. So the only reason I'm here is for school, and I mean, I like going to Texas Tech, but it being in Lubbock, I don't like a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not awful.
All right. So the first person I talked to was just a complete no across the whole board, and that to me was kind of interesting. I wasn't really expecting that, but it happened. And so going from that, I decided to interview a classmate of mine who was a freshman, and he had a little bit nicer things to say about Lubbock. You're a freshman, right? Am I crazy?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Do you like Lubbock?
Yeah, I do like Lubbock. There's a lot to do when you find the right places to go, and when you're with the right people, then the fun is endless, you know.
Yeah. What do you typically do? When you free time?
Usually we find like an activity to do, or we go to the mall. We probably find a new food spot and eat there for the first time, decide if we like it or not, and just drive around to find things to do, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. It's like after your 4, you probably don't know a definite answer, but after 4 years and you graduate, would you live in Lubbock if you had the chance, or?
No, I wouldn't live in Lubbock, just me personally, but it is a nice place to live. It's very quiet. I think this is a good town to retire in.
Right. So it's not that you dislike the town, it's just that you wouldn't live here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so I don't know, like, music is a big part of Lubbock. Like, there's the Buddy Holly Center, and then I think there was another thing, I can't remember now. Have you noticed that, or no?
Yeah, I have seen that there are a lot of like music places in Lubbock. There are like just like performance halls and stuff, like everything on Buddy Holly Hall Avenue. I've been there once for a jazz concert, and it's just like surreal.
Yeah, I haven't been in there. I need to go one day. Trying to think of anything else. So, Lubbock has a pretty high crime rate. If you look online, you can see it. Have you noticed that, or has crime ever seemed prominent, or have you just not seen anything like that?
No, I haven't really seen any crime that was like really concerning to me that would really affect me living here for long term, or like regretting my decision to come to college down here. So I wouldn't say it's been like that effective on me.
Right. So after interviewing my classmate Ethan, it gave me a little better perspective. And he was a freshman. He had a lot nicer things to say than my first interviewer. But I then turned to a graduate student who I had known, and he had a little bit different things to say. So when did you graduate from Tech?
I graduated last December, so December 2022, so almost a full year.
No, okay. So, and you were at Tech for that full 4 years?
Yeah, I started in 2018 and graduated in 22.
All right, but why did you like Lubbock so much?
Well, I came from a small town, so Lubbock is, it doesn't have that huge like metroplex atmosphere. It has kind of everything you want, but it kind of also has that small town vibe to it, which I liked, and I was familiar with it because my mom and my sister both went there, so we went up there all the time.
Okay, so you went into Lubbock kind of knowing what you were getting into.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of had it all figured out as far as the layout of Lubbock and just the general atmosphere of it.
Right. When you were in Lubbock, what did you do for the most part, like on your free time?
Free time. Well, let's see. I went to a lot of movies. That's kind of fun to do. And just, man, honestly, just going over to friends' houses and stuff like that. That took up a lot of my free time, just hanging out. Other than that, some weekends we would drive over to like Taos or Red River, New Mexico, and just hang out there, and fish, and in the winter we skied a little bit. So that was kind of what we did. Yeah. I think a lot of people, the people that I know, they don't. I don't know why, but no one really considers the fact that Lubbock is actually pretty close to a couple good places. Yeah, especially if you're, from Central Texas or even, Southeast Texas, whatever, Austin or Houston. It can cut the time in half to get to some really cool spots in Colorado and New Mexico. If you want to go skiing in the winter, or, like I said, just do whatever. Yeah. What was the difference, like living on campus and living off campus, if there was a big one? I think it's a good question. I think I liked living off campus because, I like having my own space. So having a house, with roommates that you really like, good friends, that makes it a lot more fun. And that to me, that made the whole whole college experience a lot more enjoyable. But the thing I liked about living in the dorm is just you're so close to everything. If you want to go get food, it's just walk down, to the chow hall or whatever. Or if you want to, and it's also a great place to meet people. You meet most of your, like I met most of my friends my freshman year when I was living in the dorms, so that was what was awesome about that. Right. I've looked it up and I've heard from a couple people that they think that the crime rate's really high, and if you look it up, it shows it as being pretty high. Have you ever noticed that, or like has that ever affected being in Lubbock or no? I never ran into any crime or anything when I was in Lubbock. My brother, who is a couple years younger than me, and he was there in Lubbock towards the end of my time there, and his truck was broken into, but they actually didn't even take anything. So, to me, it didn't feel like anything out of the ordinary. But so Lubbock is pretty big on music, or I that's fair to say, it's pretty big on music. And I guess have you noticed that while being in Lubbock? Like there's the Buddy Hall Center and when I was there, my friend group, we were kind of into the sort of the, what do you call it, like Texas country scene, or I guess that's what you would call it. So, and Lubbock is a huge center for that. There's been I can't name them off the top of my head, but there's been some pretty major Texas country bands that have come out of the Lubbock area, and that was fun for us. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, to me, it is a hub for sort of all kinds of music types, and I know like there's a lot of like jazz and things like that goes on, but I couldn't tell you anything about that.
What stuck out to you, like being away from Lubbock now? What sticks out to you, I guess?
Well, now I would say the thing that stuck out to me in Lubbock is just how easy it is to get to everything. You know, it's kind of built in that grid pattern, and then you have the loop that goes around, and so you could be anywhere in the city in just a matter of 10 minutes or so. So that was nice, and it's like I said, it's small enough to where you don't get that huge metroplex kind of traffic and fast-paced lifestyle, but it's small enough to where you kind of get that small town vibe, which I really enjoyed. So being away from it, I do miss like having all of that stuff kind of at my fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. So after interviewing all three of those people, I think I came to the conclusion that Lubbock is a really mixed bag when it comes to how people view it, but there's a lot of good in it, and I think that people grow to love Lubbock over the 4 years, or kind of already do, depending on where you come from. I think, in my personal perspective, I came from Dallas, and so the small town feel is unusual to me, but it can, at times it causes me to not like Lubbock, but sometimes I do. And I think that's like with the third year I interviewed, she had the same, as far as I can tell, had the same background, and so yeah, I think at the end of the day, over the course of time, after the 4 years that all of us are going to be here, we'll grow to like it. But again, it does depend somewhat where you come from, if you're a big city, small city, and I think that's really unique.